Hello, 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 hello. Hello and welcome to another iconic episode of Create Now. We're going to talk about practicing barrechords. So what I want you to do is get your index finger and lie it down on top of the nut. The nut is the today's date. Time is 13:12 and the date is 6th of May 2020. So index finger lying directly across the nut. The nut is the white thing on the guitar before the first fret. So lie your finger down on that one. And then what I want you to try to do is CAGED, C-A-G-E-D, with the back of your hand. So to explain that even more, your mind is going to be so stretched. You're going to be like, my mind. So this is a little bit difficult. So maybe we'll just start off with E and A. We'll keep it simple. All right. So I'd like you to do an E chord using the back of your hand. Now what does that mean? While lying down your index finger on the nut there. So normally for doing an E chord you use your middle finger, your ring finger and your index finger. Middle finger, index finger, ring finger. What's left? Your little finger. So we're going to move each finger down the chain, which means that you're not going to be using your index finger for anything but lying down on all the strings. Your ring finger is going to be doing the job your middle finger was, your little finger is going to be doing the job your ring finger was, and your middle finger is going to be doing the job your index finger was. Now that goes across the board for even the D chords, the C chords, the G chords, all of it. You're playing all the chords using only 3 fingers, and that's it. Alright? So what I'd like you to practice is playing the guitar without using your index finger. Because for doing all these barrechords, you're going to need your index finger. Alright, so just to get simple anyway, just only have a go at doing A and E. Because generally in barrechord land, you only use E shapes and A shapes. All the textures are available to you from C, D, and G, but they're quite difficult to do, especially that G. Doing a G bar chord is so I mean as I'm doing a G shape with the back of my hand and I'm switching to a D. So for any of you guys who are just listening to this, you're not really sure what I'm on about. So if you have a capo is the device that squeezes the strings onto the fretboard. You put it parallel to the fret. Alright, so just here's some little stuff. So here's what do we do? Fucking E and D. That's E and that's A. Right. Putting the capo on the 5th fret, I'm going to try and play the same chords again, and you'll notice it's even a completely different chord, even though the shapes are the same. So here's E and A. Alright. This is the alright, yeah. We're going to go up to the 9th fret and do the same shapes. Completely different chords again, but anyway. Alright, so that's up very high. Oh! Do you know what? Just do a second. Here's an A chord. 1 octave up. Lovely. Here's an E chord. If you're ever in a band or something, it's bloody brilliant. Get one guy with a capo on the 12th fret. So that's a D chord, like. Getting very distracted here, but this is how it works for 12-string guitars. So here's the same thing. I'm knocking it down. So capos, yeah. There's this guitar called 12 string where it has all the strings doubled, but they're up one octave. That goes for the big E, A string, D, and G, but the B and little e are the same. So do you ever see those guitars where they have an extra long headstock and they got 12 strings on them? That's how that works. It has one guitar playing down here. That's C and E, okay? But it also has strings one octave up. Here's an octave. Okay, one octave up. So one guitar is going C, D, and the other one's C. Oh, jeepers. It's very hard to reach up there. Octave difference. Somewhere. Alright. So that's 12 strings. It's also known as the Nashville style. So you can get, if you're multi-tracking guitars or just, or whatever, you have, use the G, D, and E are one octave up strings. So it's a bit similar to different tuning, but it's not. Alright, so E and A. Okay, not using that index finger. Now once you get this down, E, A, not using my index finger, E, A, you can move this anywhere. So this shape, okay? So I'm just going to do it descending down the neck just for an example. So here's an E shape, A shape, E shape, A shape, E shape, A shape, E shape, A, descending down the neck. Alright, so you can do all those chords just using the E shape and the A shape. Alright. Let's go up. E, A, E, A, E, A, E, A, E. Full chords. So it's amazing. And then using using only those two shapes, you can play. There's a lot of people who are really considered very, very great guitarists who only know their E shapes and A shapes across the guitar. Very big on rock and punk and stuff. However, it keeps going throughout the strings, but a lot of people only know their E and A, because that's all you really need. But there's more shapes. There's your C, 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 C. More options. The more options you have, if you only have the E and A shapes, alright, the problem with that is, here's F, that's the E shape F, and here's A shape. Sorry, it's F sharp. F sharp on the E shape is quite low. Now, the only other shape we have available to us is the A shape. Now, the A shape is all the way up here, which is, it's a big jump, isn't it? So we're gonna lose a lot of energy if we're gonna have to jump between F sharp here, which is E shape on the 2nd fret, and F and A shape on F sharp, which is way up on the 9th fret. Alright, so to save having to lose energy by jumping up and down the neck all the time, if we just want to stay in one little easy peasy place, it's good to know all of your shapes. CAGED, C-A-G-E-D, C-A-G-E-D, because then you can keep your thumb in the same place in the back of the guitar and go through all the chords. Alright, there you are. So here's more F sharps that are available to you. So you have the F sharp, and the E shape, D shape, C shape, E, A shape, G shape. Right? There's fucking 5 F sharps. G shape. Whoa. G shape. There you are. Hope you enjoyed that. Alright. So, same chord the whole way through. We'll do one more for the crack. E shape. Going up the neck. Different voice in D shape. Same chord, still F sharp. C shape, still F sharp. Where is it? Here. A shape, still F sharp. G shape, still F sharp. Okie dokie. All those different textures, it's absolutely gorgeous. And once you know all those textures, you don't need different guitars and all this stuff, because you're like, you have one guitar playing down here, F sharp. And then you have another lad playing up here, finger picking the C shape of F sharp. All these different guitar parts, then one lad doing the A shape. One lad going up here doing the LG. Full range of the F chord, and you can really tune into what shape would suit this part of the song best. You're not just restricted to this sound or this sound. You got all the ones in between. It really opens up your full palette. Instead of just painting with 3 colours, you got full spectrum. Instead of just with the purple colours and whatever. So, fucking great. Music alphabet stays the same as always. We've been teaching this since the early lessons. This, in case anyone doesn't know, this is part of a playlist. I'm possibly on video 80 right now. So we go straight through teaching the full how to be a guitar person. That's the professional word. So yeah. It's going to take a lot of motor memory to switch between these 2 chords. You don't need a guitar to do it. You can practice switching these on your wrist or something like that. So you can put your index finger barring the back of your wrist. I don't even know the name of that. And then on the back of your hand, forearm I guess it's called, you practice switching between your A shape, E shape, A shape, E shape, A shape, E shape, A shape, E shape, all day long. A shape, E shape. Yeah, that'll get you through your whole career. There's even lads out there who only do the E shape. Anyway, there's a lot of rock guys who and country lads, they leave out the 3rd to make it more modal. But then you're just doing octaves and fifths, aren't you? Where's that leave you? Anyway. So here would just be, that's just the power chord. So, but when you fill it out, you get to choose whether it's major or minor. So minor. So, alright. It's very easy to fool yourself that you're doing the chords right and so on. It's best to pick through all the strings, especially with that A chord. That A chord's a really tricky one. There are ways. You'll see a lot of lads and ladies doing the bar with the ring finger. So this used to blow my mind. It's when I first saw. So you have a bar with the index finger, okay? That's a full bar. But you can also do a half bar with the ring finger. So just this kind of the top half of the finger there behind the nail and all that. And it's bent at such an angle that the little E string can ring through underneath the ring finger. And if you really want to get kinky, you can involve the little finger as well. up the whole fretboard, and the scales, pentatonic scales and major scales, are all based around these chord shapes. Once it really opens up the whole fretboard, you're just able to play all over the place, and it's very, very nice. The thing that's standing in the way of your guitar career right now is, you know the theory, I hope. We'll keep tipping away at that. You got to work on your guitar. Is one of those things you can't read a book and be good at it. You got to practice the actual physical movements, which is a bit annoying. Is there a fucking spider here or something? Anyway, it's a bit annoying. I guess it's you can't really read a book and know how to ride a bike. You just gotta do it, I guess. Unfortunately, you do read the book though, because otherwise you want to know how to actually do the flipping thing. A. That's all you have to do. A and E. A chord shape. E. And then you start bringing up a fret and start doing the bar. Now, it's very, very important that you have your middle finger for the E shape, okay? If your thumb directly the opposite side of your middle finger. So if you drill the hole where that middle finger is pointing to, you should go right through to the other side where your thumb is. If you're over squeezing, you're going to get a lot of tension on the inside of your arm between your elbow and your wrist. So you need to apply as little pressure as you possibly can get away with to have this work, otherwise you're going to end up pulling all the muscles in your arm. Often the instrument itself, to be honest, you're always the problem, pretty much always, but it can really help for some people if they have a capo on the first fret, because when you buy a guitar they're kind of made one size fits all. So in order for that to be the case, they have to have the strings quite highly, the action's quite high, which means the good bit of distance between the strings on the fretboard, so that there's no kind of fret noise. So if you go to a guitar shop or something like that, they can lower, it's called the action, the intonation, all that stuff. They lower the nut and the bridge slightly, so that you don't have to push the string down as much on the fretboard. There's less distance. It's like the fretboard's right underneath your fingers. You don't have to go down half a millimeter or something, or a millimeter, whatever. It's right there. It's right underneath your fingers. So they may need to make adjustments to your truss rod. And so on and so on. Quick fix for the nut being way too high. Often the nut is just way too high. Is just put a capo on it, and that will push the strings down. So that can be a nice little thing to make it a little easier. It's kind of like having the training wheels on. Oh yeah, it's really nice. It's a lot easier to play. Also, it's a lot easier to do this on electric guitar. But the kind of thing is, you're kind of just fooling yourself in a way, because you gotta build up that hand strength for acoustic guitar to be able to play all the guitars all day long. So if you only play electric guitar, sometimes you're just really struggling on acoustic, and which is fine. It's all fine. It's all fine. Just if you stay relaxed, you keep very, very aware of your tension. These bar chords have a tendency to throw your whole body out of whack. So keep your shoulders and everything back as much as you can. What tends to happen is students tend to lean over the instrument and get their arm all twisted and painful. Things start pulling muscles because just don't know what we're doing. I guess just look in the mirror if you can, because in order to get the strings to all ring out at the same time when you're doing a bar, people that don't have the technique or muscles developed yet, so like say they try to force it, and they end up pulling muscles and so on, which I'm sure will be fine in the short term, but it's not recommended. It's not recommended. So yeah, if the strings are really high off the fretboard, it may be worth going to the old guitar shop and ask them to lower the strings. Some other little things you can do is put on electric guitar strings on the acoustic guitar. That really makes it a lot easier to play. It's definitely highly frowned upon, and also putting nylon classical strings on an acoustic guitar make it really easy to play. The nylon strings are quite easy on the fingers, but the necks are huge. But the ones that are most hard on the hands are either basses or acoustic guitars, especially acoustic guitars with 12 gauge strings or higher, like 13s. 13s really shred your fingers, depending on who you are, I guess. So any other little things, we'll just go over how to hold the plectrum, because that's a really bad habit to fall into. You hold the plectrum with your index finger and your thumb, not the middle finger, and not like loads of fingers, just one. So you make a fist, loosen the fist so your index fingernail lines up perfectly with your thumb, and then slide the plectrum in until it's a right angle with your thumb. So the arrow, the spiky part of the plex pointing right towards you, or else right towards the sound hole. So it's really like kind of an L shape between the point of the plectrum and your thumb. Creates an L shape. Any other little bits we gotta go over? Finger picking. Keep working away at it. Don't worry about moving the bass lines around, just keep it handy. And I guess what I recommend is playing along to songs if you can, with the percussion side. You don't actually do the chords or anything, just finger picking along with the songs with your strings muted, just strumming along, just getting involved. Okie dokie. So it's a long journey and all that, so don't be worried if seems like it's taking forever. You're getting better every day. Alright, that's it. Create now. Get all your merch downstairs. Patreon, PayPal. It's on subscribe on YouTube. It's on iTunes every single day. Follow on Instagram and all that. Great. Bye now.